News. Lots of NFL news to react to here on a Monday. Welcome into Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. A lot of things have happened, not only this morning, but over the past couple of days that I want to react to as I was on vacation over the past 3 or 4 days. But I am back, ready to go. We are going to get to all of these storylines coming up here in just a moment. But I got a challenge for all of you. Can we get to 11,000 subscribers by the Hall of Fame game? We are 10 days away, kind of crazy. 10 days from now, there will be NFL football on our televisions now. It'll be the Hall of Fame preseason game. You're not going to see the highest quality of football ever, but football will be back. So can we get to 11,000 subs by the time that game ends? We are 477 away. We are covering all of the major NFL news storylines, reacting to rumors out there, college football coverage as well. If you want daily videos around the NFL and college football, subscribe to the channel right now. Okay, let's start with I would say at least somewhat notable injury here. Will Levis is done for the year. The Titans announced that he underwent season-ending shoulder surgery over the weekend, which will cause him to miss the entire 2025 season. And look, he obviously was not going to start. They drafted Cam Ward, and even though the Titans were like, yeah, we got to make Cam Ward earn it, obviously Levis was not going to be the starter, but this is obviously still pretty notable because, A, what does it mean for Levis's career moving forward? I think that's somewhat in doubt in terms of, his chances to start down the road. I think he's clearly in that backup category now. And B, what do the Titans do behind Cam Ward? Because I think that's the main fallout here is that that Cam Ward is officially QB1 and that Tennessee needs a backup. Because to me, the Titans are at least trying to be somewhat competitive this year. I don't think this is a playoffs or bust type of season, but Brian Callahan enters year 3. I don't want to say on the hot seat, but it's not exactly cool either. Last year was a mess. They need to win more games than they did a year ago. And let's face it, the Titans division, the AFC South, other than Houston, is pretty manageable in terms of potentially competing for a wild card spot. And if Cam Ward goes down, I think you would have the worst backup QB situation in the league, whether it's Brandon Allen or Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle can't play at all. Brandon Allen's fine as like a QB3, but he's not a very good backup. And I would just like to have someone in that room that's somewhat of a vet. Like I think a mistake the Bears, for example, made last year was not having a veteran presence in that room for Caleb Williams. They had Caleb and Tyson Bagent, a second-year undrafted free agent. Not only do the Titans not have a good backup, they don't really have that veteran, been there, done that backup. Tim Boyle keeps getting jobs. Clearly teams like him in the QB room, but he hasn't exactly played, and when he has, it's been a disaster. I would like to bring someone in. Like, you look at some of the free agents available. I think Carson Wentz proved last year with Kansas City bringing him in. Maybe he's not like the ideal mentor, but he's been there, he's done that, and if he has to play, he can at least hold it down. CJ Beathard's been around for a while. I think he would be a quality guy. Same with Tyler Huntley. Jeff Driskel has a connection. He played in Cincinnati when the head coach Callahan was there. I believe there was an overlap, so that could be a guy. He's a veteran as well. Logan Woodside has played in Tennessee before, was just with Cincinnati before they cut him over the weekend after they signed the quarterback, who I'm completely drawing a blank on, because he was such a disaster in Atlanta over the last couple of years, and then Vegas. Who am I missing here, Colin? Desmond Ridder, thank you very much. So he's available now. I would prefer to go with one of the aforementioned guys like Wentz or Beathard, but he's an option as well. I think another angle here is the loser in Cleveland, right? Like the odd man out of the Browns QB competition, because I just do not believe they're going to keep 4 quarterbacks on their depth chart. Now, if Shador's the odd man out, I don't think that's who Tennessee would bring in, and they're not going to cut Dylan Gabriel. I'm more so looking at Flacco and Pickett. If one beats out the other, because it sounds like they want to go with a veteran early, could that person become available? I think Kenny Pickett is a name to keep an eye on here, because Flacco, in my opinion, is going to win that starting job. in Cleveland. I don't think they're going to cut Gabriel or Sanders. And are they going to keep Kenny Pickett to go with 4 QBs on the 53? I would say no. Could you flip Kenny Pickett for like a late round pick swap if you're Tennessee, trade a 6th for Pickett and a 7th? I think that could very much be on the table. So keep an eye on that if you are a Titans fan, because I think they have to get somebody in there. Brandon Allen is not the answer. Okay. Let's get to Trey Hendrickson. Sounds like there could be some momentum toward a contract, as Rappaport says the Bengals have made several offers, including a recent one in the last couple of days. Here was the full quote on Good Morning Football from Rap Sheet. He said, Trey Hendrickson still wants a new contract. He's set to make $16 million this year. He's not expected to play for that. The Bengals have made several offers, including a recent one over the course of the last couple of days. The Bengals GM, I think technically has title of VP of Player Personnel, but regardless, Duke Tobin said that he expects every player under contract to be there for training camp. Veterans report tomorrow. Trey Hendrickson is not going to report without a new contract. And if he does, that would be a signal to me that they are on the precipice of signing a new deal. I think if Trey Hendrickson is in the building tomorrow, that means that they have almost signed a new deal, or that they have signed one, that a deal were to get done today, because he's made his stance pretty clear. And I agree with him, and he should do this. He is going to hold out for a major raise and for long-term security. Why? Because the edge market has exploded, and $16 million is an embarrassment for what he brings to the table. So he wants double that, if not a little bit more, on a 2, 3, 4-year extension. Multi-years, multiple years guaranteed, and if the Bengals don't give him that, eventually some team will. So it sounds like there could be some momentum there. Mike Brown, the owner, says he's confident a deal will get done. So I tend to think that there's at least been some ground made up there that that is trending in the right direction. Now, whether that happens today, tomorrow, next week, or 3 weeks from now, I don't know. But if I was a betting man, I do think the Hendrickson Bengals deal does end up getting done before week 1. Now, where does that leave us with Shemar Stewart? Because Tobin commented on his situation as well. He said he needs to be here. I would encourage him to be here. He's listening to the advice he's paying for from his agents. I don't understand the advice. We're treating him fairly. Now, I think in most situations, I would give the team the benefit of the doubt and be like, a rookie first rounder isn't reporting to training camp, even though it's slotted money. The only thing that can be argued is like how much he gets in a signing bonus, and like deep language in terms of like, if the player gets in trouble, is the team on the hook for the guaranteed money? Because all first round picks get guaranteed deals. Now there can be certain clauses of like, if this guy gets arrested, like a Henry Ruggs situation, would the team still be on the hook for the full money? Which Tobin actually alluded to, that his agents are basically negotiating in light of what the worst case scenario would be. I don't know exactly what's going on. I do know this. History tells us the Bengals are cheap. So are they lowballing them on a signing bonus? Because players have pushed more and more with their agents for a larger signing bonus. Why? Because any financial expert would tell you more money today up front is valuable. It's why if you win the lottery, really, even though it sounds good in theory, like, oh, I'll get this amount in a check every single year for 30 years, that adds up to a larger number than how much you can get up front. Well, you take the upfront money. Why? Because you can invest it in different stocks, Bitcoin, whatever. And players lean on these agents, financial experts in that regard. And so my gut tells me that the Bengals are lowballing on a signing bonus offer. Now, again, I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not. But this is a very unique situation, and it's hard to give the Bengals the benefit of the doubt here, because they don't give large signing bonuses historically. History tells us that they are cheap, going back to the Carson Palmer situation. So we'll see how that one plays out. I tend to think the Hendrickson thing is much more closer to getting resolved than the Stewart thing is at this point in time. Who do you guys think signs a new deal first? Obviously, Hendrickson is under contract, but type TH for Trey Hendrickson or SS for Shemar Stewart. I do think it's Hendrickson. I think that one could happen fairly soon. Okay, some other stories I wanted to hit on. George Karlaftis signed an extension, and the initial numbers weren't alarming, but I was like, okay, they're kind of getting ahead of the game here, but that is a big number. 4 years, $88 million, up to $93. So, okay, 22, 23. But I think the Chiefs played this smart because, as Albert Breer kind of clarifies here, he had 2 years left on his deal. So it adds up to $17.5 million per year. And George Karlaftis has 24.5 sacks in 3 NFL seasons. He's improved every single year. He's really good against the run. And he's played his best ball in the postseason. He already has 8 playoff sacks. He's on a trajectory where he could be among the leaders in NFL history in sack production in the playoffs, especially if the Chiefs continue to make these deep runs, which, until proven otherwise, I don't think that's slowing down anytime soon. So I actually think this is a smart move. And I always say this, if you feel good about a player, extend him earlier rather than later, right? Because if there's a year, 2 years left on a contract and you feel good about him being productive for 4 or 5 years to come, well, you can give him what looks like a massive contract on an extension, but as it ages out, since you've got those 1 or 2 years left, yeah, 4 for 93, that's $23-24 million per year. But when you have the 2 remaining years of a rookie contract that don't cost that much money, it really is like $17 or $18 million per year. And typically the last year or two are non-guaranteed. So I actually think that's a pretty fair deal for Kansas City. Okay, Micah Parsons is reporting to training camp. I think they're actually out there today. The Cowboys go out to California every year for the first few weeks of training camp. Jordan Schultz had this scoop over the weekend. I'm not shocked by this. Micah's got a little old school in him in terms of, he's not he doesn't strike me as a major holdout type of guy. Now, maybe he won't do a ton of drills. Maybe he'll just do individual work. We'll have to wait and see. I also think that this is probably a sign that Micah and his reps feel pretty good about where negotiations sit. Now, TJ Watt, another news headline over the last few days, just topped Myles Garrett in terms of millions per year on his new deal, $41 million. I think Micah and his reps probably feel pretty confident that they're going to top that number in terms of average annual value, and more importantly, in terms of the guarantees. TJ got $108 million guaranteed. Myles Garrett got $123.5. Now he got a 4th year. TJ Watt just did a 3-year deal. My guess is Micah gets $43 million per year, and he gets $125+ million guaranteed, and he resets the market both in average annual value and guaranteed money for a non-quarterback. That would be my guess. That would be my thought, and I wouldn't hesitate giving it to him. Why? Because unlike Myles Garrett or TJ Watt, and he's not far off from those players. He's just as good as a pass rusher, maybe not quite as good as a run defender, but close. He's 25, 26 years old. Those guys are 30 or 29, 30 years old. Like, he's a full contract younger than those guys. So I wouldn't hesitate if I was Jerry and the Cowboys to sign Micah. And typically they do these deals in August, right before the season starts. Lastly, the Colts new owner, obviously in the Irsay family, left the door open for Anthony Richardson. Carly Irsay Gordon, who's now, I guess, the speaking owner for the Colts. I don't know how the family dynamics work there, but she said that Richardson is still on his rookie deal, and basically said that means he still has time to prove that he can be the guy we thought we were getting when we drafted him top 5 a couple of years ago. Now, I do agree that he still has time, but I don't think it's that much time. I think he's got about 6 weeks. In other words, he's got between now and week 1 to prove he can be the answer, or at least prove that he can earn the opportunity that he could still prove he could be the guy, right? It's twofold, right? He's got to prove first that he's a better option than Daniel Jones. That's the next 6 weeks. And then obviously behind that, he's got to prove it on Sundays. Like, can he win games? Can he play well? Can he be better than what we've seen through 15 career games played in 2 years? Because he's been atrocious. Outside of a couple week stretch his rookie year before he broke his collarbone, he's been pretty bad. He hasn't been accurate. He misses a ton of layups. And look, part of his games, he's a big game hunter. He does generate big plays with downfield throwing and his legs, but you can't be a 50, 51% completion guy. Can you be 58, 59? You think of a guy like Cam Newton, 59%, someone he was comped to? He was never the most accurate player, but he generated a ton of major plays. He had a ton of touchdowns, and where the inconsistencies were as a passer, he made up for it in explosiveness. And ideally, that's what Anthony Richardson would turn into, but you can't be this inaccurate. You can't live in today's NFL at 50% completion rate. So We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I think Daniel Jones is the man to beat for that job. I've been on record saying that for well over a month now. But I think there is time. I agree with the Colts owner, but I think the clock is ticking when it comes to Anthony Richardson and his ability to start in Indy. Do you guys still believe in Anthony Richardson? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I don't know if I ever really did, to be honest. Didn't love him coming out. I'm intrigued. The skill set is interesting. He's got a cannon. He's a big guy. He can move, but he's had multiple shoulder injuries now. And when I've watched him play, it's been pretty underwhelming up to this point. All right, guys, it's going to do it for this edition of Four Verts. Appreciate everybody for tuning into the show. My name is Harrison Graham. We will be back tomorrow with another episode. Unless there's major breaking news, then we'll be back today. But until next time, we'll see you soon.